This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tonight, behind schedule, a tiny home community planned for Lower Sackville won't be ready this summer after all.
Eclipse tourism. The celestial event creates an economic boom for a tiny community in northern Cape Breton.
And buyer beware. Maud Lewis paintings can fetch big bucks, but a Halifax art dealer warns to watch out for fakes.
Shower and flurry chances ending this evening, high pressure moving in, and a pretty nice Wednesday shaping up across the province. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. And Nova Scotia's first tiny home community for unhoused people in Lower Sackville is running behind schedule.
When it was announced last fall, it was meant to welcome its first residents this summer, but now there's a new timeline. Nicholas Seguin reports.
Work has begun to turn this muddy field into a first for Nova Scotia, a pilot project called a tiny home community for homeless people. Half of the 60 units were supposed to be ready for summer, but people needing shelter will be left waiting longer.
The first residents we're hoping will move in by fall, and the second group of residents by winter.
The neighborhood and a community center will fill the old ball field, home to dozens of tents just a couple of months ago. The project was announced in October as part of a nearly $17 million spend, aimed at getting some of the province's hundreds of homeless people out of the cold. But the rollout of the 200 shelters the province bought from an American company called Pallet has also run into some snags. Only 19 are up and running, and it's unclear when the rest will be ready.
For a government that says they want to get build faster, they're not doing it very fast. So I'm kind of disappointed to hear that it won't be ready and that they should have been ready because folks are in need of housing right now.
We're seeing it now again with these tiny homes. We saw it with the pallet shelters. We're seeing it with many of the things they've announced for healthcare. And I'm worried because they spend a lot of money, but don't really deliver.
But similar shelters have been built quickly in the past.
Our goal was to get people off the street that winter immediately, right?
The church project took around 6 months to get up and running, now with 25 shelters across the province. Dino Raymond lives in one of them, and he has a message for the provincial government.
I know they got a lot of things they got to do, and I know they got their budgets and stuff like that, but please help out more. We need your guys' support. The homeless need your guys' support.
Raymond says being warm and dry has changed everything for him, and he wants to see others get the same chance. Nicholas Seguin, CBC News, Halifax.
Police in New Glasgow are asking for help locating a 73-year-old who hasn't been seen since Monday. A silver alert went out last night for Adair Townsend, who's described by police as having a mild case of Alzheimer's and is known to take regular walks on her own. Townsend was reported missing around noon yesterday. She was last seen on Brookside Avenue. She's about 5'2", wearing glasses, a bluish-gray coat, and black Doc Marten boots. Anyone who sees her is asked to call police.
More than a dozen fire departments came together early this morning to save an apple storage facility in 3 Mile Plains. The former Mason's Apples plant, now operated by Ocean Crisp, contained 12,000 tons of last year's apple crop. Ocean Crisp was informed after the fire was put out that all of the apples have been saved and damage was kept to a minimum. It's believed the fire was the result of an electrical issue on the top of the building.
The crews did a great job of initially locating the fire and getting a quick knock on the fire to hold it from getting further involved into the building. We did, however, have some extension into a crawl space, and that's it proved to be a bit stubborn for us.
Ocean Crisp repairs will need to be made before they can continue with that plan. The former Bloomfield School site in Halifax continues to sit vacant. There have long been safety concerns around the building, and a new report sheds light on the status of the structure. The CBC's Haley Ryan has more.
The old Bloomfield School site is definitely in rough shape, but it's been unclear exactly how unsafe it is for people breaking in or emergency crews to enter. Developer Alex Halef of Bank Investments has owned the property for the past 3 years, and most of the buildings have been vacant for a decade. Halifax Fire called it an immediate safety risk last fall and ordered a structural integrity assessment. They say people have sheltered in the building and started fires. A report CBC received through a Freedom of Information request shows the main building does have 2 roof leaks and cracked brick, but the framing and walls are in good condition. It's a different story for the 2 older buildings linked to the main one via pedways. The Agricola Street building has a partially collapsed roof, and both have load-bearing walls that have deteriorated. It is our opinion that neither of these earlier buildings, in their present state, are safe to access. Consideration could be given to blocking access from the main building to these structures at the pedway connections to prevent entry. Halifax Fire received this report in January and shared it with the district chiefs. An inspector also urged extreme caution for anyone working in the area because of the crumbling exterior. This report is just part of an agreement the developer has with the city. An email from November 2023 shows bank has to ensure the site remains vacant, secure, and inspected daily. The city told CBC that Halifax Fire remains concerned about the property and the file is still open, but no new orders have been issued, and the city cannot say whether the pedways have been blocked or not. Last year, Halef said he could not afford to demolish the building. In the meantime, bank has pitched other major developments to the city, including thousands of units in Bedford Commons and Exhibition Park. They have just under 2 years left to start construction at Bloomfield. Haley Ryan, CBC News, Halifax.
The faculty at St. Mary's University has voted in support of a motion of no confidence in the school's president and the chair of the Board of Governors. The St. Mary's University Faculty Union voted 91.1% in support of the motion, according to the union. The union represents 300 full-time professors, librarians, and instructors at the university. In a release, the union says they have made multiple requests to the administration for basic information about the financial condition of the university. The release goes on to say external financial experts found financial mismanagement and increased spending have resulted in debts and budget cuts. The solar eclipse may be over, but it's still all the talk in Meat Cove tonight. The amount of people attracted to it overwhelmed locals and created business for an area usually quiet this time of year. Here is the CBC's Kyle Moore.
It was the only place in Nova Scotia in the path of totality for the solar eclipse. People came by the carloads to Meat Cove to catch a rare glimpse. Locals knew the crowds were coming, but nothing like they experienced on Monday.
I'm really lost for words at the amount of tourists that were in here.
Hines estimates more than 1,000 people came to the small northern Cape Breton community in a very short period of time. It's a place known for its beauty and at its peak for visitors during the summer months.
In the summertime, we do get up to 500 cars per day, say from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. Whereas all these cars seem to come in right between 12 and 4 o'clock, right? That the road was just nonstop. It was definitely nothing we have ever seen before.
The food truck, usually closed this time of year, was open for business with a limited menu. They could barely keep up.
We pretty much ran out right just when we shut down. That was around 4 o'clock.
Chris McKinnon and Eileen McClellan didn't quite know what to expect when they decided to open their food truck for the day. But in the end, they cashed in on hundreds of dollars.
We had to shut the doors a couple of times just to take a breather and re-prep, just so another wave could come and get going. Otherwise, it was, we didn't know really what we could do to keep up with people. We didn't want to upset too many people, so we just told people, now and then we'll close the doors and we'll reopen when we get prepped.
It's business the couple wouldn't have had without the eclipse, and it's an experience many who live here hope will bring people back to their picturesque place.
I think it brought a lot of local people here, people in Nova Scotia who may not have, necessarily come here. They only came for the eclipse. So I guess it gave them a chance to kind of drive down and see our little communities north of Smoky.
A business boom and a day many won't soon forget. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Sydney.
And with our first look at the weather forecast, here's Ryan Snoddon now.
Are you still basking in the glow of the eclipse?
I think everybody has a bit of an eclipse hangover today, for sure. Listen, tough to top yesterday, just such a spectacular day. And thankfully it worked out because Meat Cove, cloud-capped today, as is much of the eastern parts of the mainland. We've been seeing a brighter sky towards the west, and yeah, those are some flurries mixing in across Cape Breton and the eastern parts of the mainland this evening. We'll continue to see those over the next couple of hours. Then we are going to clear thanks to this area of high pressure moving in. But between the high and that northerly flow, tonight is going to be notably cool for this time of year. We should be around the freezing mark. We're going to start in the -3 to -6 range for a good portion of the mainland, -2 to -4 across Cape Breton, a little milder in Yarmouth, but it will be a chilly start tomorrow, no doubt about that. So make sure you're prepared. Now, that said, we're going to recover quite nicely tomorrow. Those northerly winds will linger for Cape Breton, but they'll become south across a good portion of the rest of the mainland. Still a bit cool along that Northumberland shore as well if you're in those onshore winds. Temperatures closer to 2-3 degrees, but 5 or 6, even 7 inland. 8, 9, 10 degrees towards the south and west, where the winds will become southerly, and a late day risk of a shower in through the Yarmouth area. There's the high that'll keep us pretty chilly tonight. It fades off. There's that building cloud cover. Yarmouth, Digby, Shelburne, there's that isolated chance of a shower through the later parts of tomorrow. Shower chances increasing Wednesday night into Thursday morning as those clouds do start to slowly but surely build into the region, turning quite damp Thursday night, and for Friday as periods of rain and some gusty winds come in with this system that's going to be moving its way through eastern Canada Friday and into the weekend. Not a complete washout, but certainly we are going to be seeing some wet weather, but some milder temperatures really starting to build in as well. We'll talk all about it with your 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you.
The National Dental Care Plan starts next month, but almost all dentists in Nova Scotia are reluctant to participate. The local association says only 4 dentists in the entire province have signed on to the program that is supposed to start providing care for seniors and eventually low and middle income Canadians who don't have private coverage.
Unfortunately, the government has designed a plan where they are asking providers to enroll, to sign a contract with the government in order to provide care. This does not follow along with any other insurance plan or any other government-run program that we work with. So this contract has unnecessary terms and conditions, and most dentists in Nova Scotia unfortunately are facing staff shortages. So this is a difficult program. A lot of them can't take on new patients as it is.
I'll talk to Dr. Julie Waterbury of the Dental Association about the plan and what it could mean for you. That's our Newsmaker interview just after 6:30.
The Nova Scotia-based oral surgeon who allowed a correctional officer to extract 4 teeth from a sedated inmate in Newfoundland has been granted an absolute discharge. A judge told a courtroom today in Gander that she received 70 letters of support for Dr. Louis Bourget, which she said convinced her that imposing a criminal conviction would not serve the public. The judge said that although Bourget violated a position of trust, the dentist has taken responsibility. Bourget pleaded guilty to assault last year after he allowed the officer to extract the teeth in October of 2020 while another correctional officer filmed. He had told the court that he became lost in a teaching moment and that he was struggling with the stresses of the COVID-19 pandemic at the time.
There is growing concern about coastal erosion in and around Wood Island's PEI and the impact may have on the ferry service to Nova Scotia. The CBC's Wayne Thibodeau explains.
This is what the dunes off Wood Islands used to look like, but a powerful storm in the winter of 2016 changed the landscape forever. Today, you can barely see them at all. Norman Stewart lives right on the coast. He says the silt from the dunes is being pushed into the channel, causing problems for local fishermen and the PEI to Nova Scotia ferry service.
In January 2016, the beach behind me here, it was breached with a big westerly storm. There was no ice in the strait that would buffer the wind and wave action. And since that time, the beach never recovered.
Stewart would like to see rock reefs like these built to protect a provincial park and lighthouse in West Point, constructed in Wood Islands. The local Chamber of Commerce says it's critical that something is done. Blair Aiken says confidence has already been shaken in the ferry service, with disruptions over the past couple of years. He says they don't want silt to impact the ability of the ferries to dock.
The service itself doesn't get the attention it deserves until there's a problem. and it seems to operate in the eyes of the political sphere on a 4-year mandate. So what we're looking for is a solution, a long-term solution.
The local MLA says she's been lobbying for dredging, but so far she's heard nothing back from Transport Canada, which looks after the ferry service.
It's a real concern, Wayne, for the fishermen and for the ferry. If we don't get some dredging done here and have a little bit of more attention to the area, it's really going to impact the ferry service and the fishermen's livelihood.
The province says it will need to contract a coastal engineer to assess the site, but it doesn't want to do anything until Transport Canada explains what it plans to do. Provincial officials say while they're keeping a close eye on this area, it's too soon to say if an offshore reef will work here. They say it's important to take the time to find the right approach to protect this valuable coastline in eastern PEI. Wayne Thibodeau, CBC News, Wood Islands.
Maud Lewis's iconic scenes of rural life have become big business in Nova Scotia. Originals can go for tens or sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Chad Brown is an art dealer who specializes in Maud Lewis. Recently, he took possession of 6 paintings at the same time. He brought them to Zwickers Gallery in Halifax to have them framed and authenticated. Information Morning's Jerry West met him at the gallery.
This is the first time I've ever forked out this kind of investment for 6 paintings. I won't give an exact figure, but it was over $100,000. You can only authenticate it so much on your own before you purchase it. So major risk when you're using your own money.
There's the letter of authenticity.
Thank you.
And I'll just show you the
So this first one, I can tell by the back, is a beautiful, one of my favorite paintings. And I've seen variations of this painting, as I'm sure you have, where maybe the boat's a different color, or there's different boats or different animals around. If I were to guess, I'd say this was a late 50s, early 60s painting, based on what the original owners had told me.
You must have seen a lot of Maud Lewis come through here.
Yes. We have seen a lot of more. Well, she was very prolific. Well, she said that she painted about 1 a day, which is over 300 a year, which is over 3,000 a decade. She painted for over 3 decades, the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So there must be somewhere around at least 10,000.
And it's not every day I get a harbor painting. So when I do, I mean, I could purchase 100 paintings, and that would be my second harbor painting. So that one is sold, and that's sold for $40,000. Which is a lot of money for a painting. In my experience, people do not like to sell their mods. They love them too much. But because of the value on it, I think people are worrisome about having that much money on the walls. It's like Christmas. I don't know which one is next.
I'm not trying to worry people, but art forgery now is the second largest source of income for organized crime. It is in the billions now a year. So Maud would be a relatively good target, relatively easy to do, and they're relatively simple, and she was very prolific.
So what convinces the two of you that this is authentic?
I look for the little things, like Ian mentioned earlier. It's certain things are traced out, so you can see the pencil marks going up the horizon.
Almost any artist, their signature lies in the work itself, not just in the name.
I think there's still a lot of mods in original hands. I think for the next 10, 20 years, you're going to see these random influxes of mods coming out. She's a Canadian icon, and people in Canada know her. So now the struggle is to get it past Canada.
I'd like to have one Maud Lewis, just one.
Yeah, I'd take a couple if I could, but
They're beautiful.
They're great images, aren't they?
They sure are. All right, first quick break on the way. Stay with us.
We have a lot more to come on CBC Nova Scotia News. Europe's highest human rights court made an historic ruling today about global warming, siding with a group of senior Swiss women.
A CBC News investigation has found over the past decade more than 450 suspended Ontario police officers continued to be paid at a cost of $134 million.
And there's a lovely view from Getchimikujik National Park. Ryan is up next with his forecast. We'll see you in a bit.
A little quieter today.
A little cloudier
looking at the
today,
skies,
right?
cloudier too, yeah.
We didn't all, as a big group, go out and gather in the parking lot and look up at the sun today.
Not today, yeah. That was kind of fun, though. We should do that every day.
Universal experience. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely it was. And again, some more pictures coming into Ryan's picks. And thank you to everybody who have been sharing, which is always great to see. Some pics from New Brunswick, some pics from here. Yeah, definitely today feels just a little different. No doubt about that. But still a pretty nice day, especially for western areas of the province today. It's been snowing in the east, and actually a few folks sending me a pics of some accumulating snow over parts of Cape Breton and higher terrain areas of Antigonish County. But there's also the sun shining as well. And so, yeah, we are kind of a province divided right now. The western parts of the province, it's a lovely evening. This is a live shot from Mercy River Chalets, which is not far from beautiful Getchimikujik Park. 8 degrees there, mostly sunny. Nice spot along the river.
That's a nice scene, isn't it?
It certainly is.
To float down that river, right?
Yeah, that's right. High water temp's probably still a bit chilly this time of year, but yeah, I'm there for it. 9 degrees, the high at beautiful Keji today, and you can see 13 down and through the southwest. Just 3 degrees at that Caribou Point station in Pictou County. Ingonish Beach, the high just 2. And yeah, that northerly wind has certainly been impacting temperatures in the north and east as we thought that it would. Temperatures have dropped to the freezing mark, in fact, there over the last little bit. 0 at Sydney and Cheticamp and Ingonish, and 1 Antigonish and Pictou. And again, looking at some of the webcams from this area, we're definitely seeing some light accumulation. Higher terrain areas in Antigonish County and towards Pictou County could see some, at least a little bit of slushiness on the road. So just be mindful of that over the next couple of hours before these flurries clear away. It's down to 1 in Halifax at the airport, 4 closer to downtown. The winds, yeah, they have certainly been making their presence felt today, haven't they? Sustained 20, 30, even 40 at times in through the east. And yeah, Sydney at last check gusting to 54 kilometers per hour with that northerly flow. So they're the flurries that have been in the mix, and this is likely the area that saw most of the accumulation, especially southern Richmond County. Got a couple of great pictures there, so thanks to folks for sharing. We've got this area of high pressure that's going to be moving in, cutting off those flurries for tonight, and we will be looking at this next system here brewing in the U.S. South, and that is going to be heading its way up the eastern seaboard. Not only the mild temperatures, but obviously all that moisture as well. You can see into the teens and 20s there now. Cooler air dipping back down, but even in its wake, the cool, not so cool these days, though it certainly will be chilly tonight. As we mentioned earlier, this is notably cool for this time of year. -3 to -6 across the mainland, a little milder in through Yarmouth County, but yeah, it will be -2 to -3 in through most of Cape Breton. There are those flurries coming to an end. Note all the sunshine for tomorrow to start the day. We'll see a mix of sun and cloud across Cape Breton for tomorrow. There's the building cloud cover coming in across the western parts of the mainland, and a couple of isolated showers for the Tri-County area. Temperatures still cool across the island tomorrow. 1, 2, 3, and 4 degrees. Warmest spots will be down through southern Richmond County. 4, 6, and yeah, even 7 degrees for the Northumberland and Eastern Shore. Coolest in those onshore winds. Get away from the water, you'll find your warmer temperatures. 6 to 9 degrees through the valley tomorrow. Did put an isolated risk for Annapolis Royal, but it is going to be generally Digby, Yarmouth, and Shelburne. Notably different in temperatures with a southerly flow tomorrow. 5 along the coast, 10 inland. So it does look like places like Bridgewater will crack double digits. Lunenburg will likely be closer to 6, 7 degrees for tomorrow. 8, 9 degrees in through the Halifax area. Again, mild for Thursday with those mainly cloudy skies and some shower chances of 5, 6, and 7 degrees across Cape Breton, but dry on Thursday. That cloud deck not really making its way in there, certainly building clouds. And then that wetter weather Thursday night, but more so Friday. Some gusty southerly winds coming in with this one. This system is going to take its time, but we will see some dry pockets on the other side of this main line, which will work through Friday and Friday night. Behind that, showers, but again, dry pockets in there, and staying mild throughout the weekend as well. Some lingering showers even into Monday, but hey, at least the temperatures looking a little more April-like, Tom.
Yeah, like those temperatures. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you.
Up next, I'll talk with Dr. Julie Waterbury of the Dental Association about the problems with Ottawa's dental care plan. That's our Newsmaker interview.
Stay with us. You're watching CBC Nova Scotia News.
The Canadian Dental Care Plan is set to start providing coverage next month, but it's not clear that enough dentists will enroll to provide care to the 1.6 million seniors who have already signed up. The $13 billion plan starts with seniors, but is supposed to ultimately provide low and middle income Canadians with insurance if they don't have private coverage. Dr. Julie Waterbury is with the Nova Scotia Dental Association. So this plan is supposed to roll out next month. What will it look like in Nova Scotia, do you think?
Well, we are a little bit concerned in Nova Scotia. At this point, Tom, we don't have a significant number of our providers that have signed up or enrolled as providers in this program. So we are certainly concerned that Nova Scotians might have a challenge finding a provider who's willing to treat them.
So just for perspective here, how many Nova Scotia dentists have signed on?
4.
4. Are you disappointed by that result? Are you surprised by that result?
I'm not surprised by that result. Unfortunately, the government has designed a plan where they are asking providers to enroll, to sign a contract with the government in order to provide care. This does not follow along with any other insurance plan or any other government-run program that we work with. So this contract has unnecessary terms and conditions, and most dentists in Nova Scotia, unfortunately, are facing staff shortages. So this is a difficult program. A lot of them can't take on new patients as it is, and they're doing their best to work with what they can, but accepting new patients and working with this plan is just out of the scope for some practices in Nova Scotia.
So let me ask you, are you signing up?
At this point, Tom, my colleagues here that I work with at my office, we have all decided not to enroll in the Canadian Dental Care Plan as it stands right now. We too are concerned about the contract that we have to sign. We would probably have to hire additional staff in order to manage the administrative part of the plan. And that's just not something that we're prepared to do yet. However, I have promised our patients, the ones who I've had the pleasure to talk to, who have asked me these questions, I've promised them that we will continue to reevaluate on an ongoing basis. We're hoping that the government will continue to make changes to this plan, that they'll continue to improve this plan, that some of our concerns will be heard. And if they do make substantial changes that will make a difference for practitioners to reduce these burdens, then we will reassess our standpoint on an ongoing basis, because we would like to be able to provide care for all these Canadians who will be qualified under this program.
As it stands right now, it really sounds like the plan's in trouble.
I am a little bit concerned that there won't be enough providers to provide care for Canadians, and some Canadians have waited a long time to be able to access oral health care. We want to see these patients seen. In the larger centres across Canada, we are seeing larger uptake of this plan amongst the providers. So the disparity in where people will be able to get care under the Canadian Dental Care Plan is very real. And unfortunately, in Atlantic Canada, there aren't going to be very many providers at the start of this program.
Are you getting any indication or much indication from the federal government that things might change and that it might become more attractive to dentists to sign on?
We're hopeful. We've certainly told them what our concerns are. We've laid them all out for them fairly clearly. So from that standpoint, they understand where we're coming from. It is our hope that they're going to take steps towards reducing the administrative burden, making it simpler for offices to participate, to see these patients. And also perhaps make it simpler for providers to participate by not requiring them to enroll to sign this contract with Health Canada.
This program, I mean, it started out, the first mention was that it would be free to Canadians. Then we're sort of learning that no, some Canadians, if they do find a dentist who enrolls in the program, might still have to pay for a little. There are these overarching problems that you're talking about where dentists in general, many of them don't want to sign on to the plan because of all the things that you've talked about there. How do you feel about the way this has been rolled out?
It's been a long process. At the beginning of this, when the government first announced that they were planning to do this and create this historic program for Canadians, we were hopeful. We told government that we were there and we were ready and willing to consult with them, to share with them what we knew about dentistry so that hopefully they could design a plan that would work for everybody, for for government, for taxpayers, but primarily for Canadians who want to be able to access this care. And unfortunately, if it's not going to work for providers, it's not going to work for Canadians.
Just before I let you go,
government didn't actually start talking to us. Oh, yeah, sorry. I was just going to tell you that government didn't actually start talking to us in a meaningful way until very late last year. So most of this plan was already designed before we had the opportunity to have any input.
Okay, and just quickly, so what is your final parting piece of advice for Ottawa on this?
My final parting piece of advice for Ottawa, listen to Canadians and listen to those Canadians who would love to be able to access care under this plan, but aren't able to find a provider who has enrolled. This plan is about Canadians. It's about our patients, and it's about making sure that everybody has the opportunity to the oral health care that they deserve and that they need. And so we would really like to see Health Canada design a plan that allows for a wide range of providers to participate easily and efficiently without too much administrative burden.
We'll see what happens next month. Dr. Waterbury, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Coming up, Canadian researchers have developed the first set of international guidelines to treat food allergies. And it means eating small doses of the allergen.
Europe's highest human rights court made a historic ruling today about global warming.
It ruled in favor of a group of Swiss women who said their government's actions to fight climate change were inadequate. Tricia Kindelman has more.
What the court is saying is that the Swiss government is leaving what they called critical gaps in their infrastructure and their attempts at reducing their emissions targets. There's this group of women that brought this case to this international court. We know there's about 2,000 members of this women's group. Their average age is about 74, and they're saying that they are being directly affected by this increasing temperature that we're seeing around the globe, saying that the heat that we're experiencing everywhere is really impacting them, especially during the summer. There has been a steady increase, particularly through European countries we've seen as well. And this ruling is actually coming the same day, new numbers showing that trend is not stopping. They're saying that we are now in our 10th month of the highest temperature record. The month was almost 2 degrees warmer than an estimated March average between the years 1850 and 1900, what we know as the pre-industrial period. A lot of emotions in the air today as this ruling was read out.
Positively shocked, so happy, because we could do something. We could do something. We could contribute to the future, to a better future for our children.
There were 2 other cases that the court did throw out, though. One of those involved a former mayor of a French coastal community. They threw that one out because he's no longer a resident there, so they say that he can no longer claim to be the victim of this instance. And then the other ruling was actually brought by 6 kids from Portugal.
And that was the CBC's Tricia Kindelman. Turning now to the latest on the war in Gaza. Israel's prime minister remains defiant in the face of international and domestic pressure that a ground assault will go ahead in the southern city of Rafah. He reaffirmed today a date has been set for an incursion and Israel won't be abandoning it.
We will complete the elimination of the Hamas battalions, including in Rafah. There is no force in the world that will stop us. Many forces are trying to do this, but it will not help, because this enemy, after what it has done, will not do it again. It will cease to exist.
Netanyahu made the comments while visiting new recruits to the Israeli military. Just a short time before he had lunch with them, Hamas issued a statement saying the latest proposal for ceasefire and hostage release deal did not meet their demands.
Police departments across Canada routinely suspend officers who are accused of wrongdoing. Many of them are not paid, but that has only recently become the case in Ontario. A CBC investigation has found that over the past decade, more than 450 suspended officers continue to draw their salary at a cost of $134 million. Julie Ireton has more.
Former OPP officer Jason Redmond spent nearly 8 years on paid suspension after multiple convictions over the years, including drug trafficking and sexual assault. The constable was finally fired last summer. By then, he had already taken home more than $1.2 million in pay. Details of this Brockville case triggered public outrage. But it's just one of more than 450 cases of suspended officers CBC News found through publicly available data in Ontario. Officers were suspended with pay for a variety of allegations, everything from drunk driving to fraud, manslaughter, sexual assault, and intimate partner violence or disciplinary violations. The total cost, more than $134 million since 2013. The longest, most costly suspension is OPP Detective Sergeant James Christie. He's a former police union executive, suspended for 9 years and counting. Christie has been paid more than $1.5 million to stay home from work.
Most police officers are working professionally and doing their jobs properly, but we see these cases, and these are the cases that really, anger people and piss people off.
Since 2010, Ontario police chiefs have lobbied for the ability to suspend accused officers without pay. It's a power other police forces in Canada, including the RCMP, have had for years.
Our legislation will, if passed, provide transparency and clarity to police officers.
The Ford government said it would bring in reform 4 years ago. New legislation finally came into effect this month, but the new suspension without pay provision only applies in certain very serious criminal cases, and only after the approval of a hearing.
To be honest with you, not a lot.
Former Niagara Chief Jeff McGuire doesn't think it will make much of a difference in terms of fewer suspensions with pay.
There are still many opportunities that we believe a person should likely be suspended without pay.
By contrast, the police union is satisfied with the new provisions. No agency or government department keeps track or makes public the number of police suspensions in Ontario. Critics say that leaves the public in the dark in terms of the scope of suspensions and their outcomes. Julie Ireton, CBC News, Ottawa.
A week after the deadly earthquake in Taiwan, a Canadian couple is counting their blessings and recounting their near-death experience. They were hiking near the island's east coast when the earth shook. They ended up fighting for their lives. Philippe Leblanc has this report.
It was supposed to be a magical vacation for the young couple, Taroko Gorge being the perfect backdrop to celebrate Lilia's 34th birthday.
It's just so incredible because you're walking and it was stunning. It was gorgeous.
But suddenly last Wednesday morning, the earth started to shake, causing landslides. Lilia and Brandon had to fight to survive.
And she took a look at my head and saw that there was blood coming from it. So luckily she was smart enough to rip her shirt and use it to tie a bandage around it to help stop the bleeding.
The young woman from Montreal suffered a fractured vertebrae. The man from Edmonton broke a foot and had an open skull fracture. Driven by survival instincts and adrenaline, they said, they walked 2 kilometers before being evacuated with other hikers.
We arrived to this spot where there were shelters where they have food, and normally there's vendors selling souvenirs and stuff like that. We actually found the other 10 survivors. They were all protected there, and they said that no rocks had come in that area. I was like, seeing those people was like Christmas morning. I mean,
the group of 12 hikers was then taken to a Hualien hospital where the couple will stay for at least 10 more days.
The big thing for me is they're just worried about infection since it was such a dirty wound. So they're giving antibiotics every day, and same thing as Lilia, just making sure blood pressure is okay.
The young couple says they've been overwhelmed with love and support.
It's the first time I'm experiencing so much of, I don't know how you can say that, but like kindness from strangers. And it's very pure and it's very genuine.
Lilia and Brandon say they aim to recover quickly from this traumatic experience. Philippe Leblanc, CBC News, Taipei.
A CBC News investigation has uncovered a Canadian DNA laboratory that knowingly delivered prenatal paternity test results that routinely identified the wrong biological fathers. The bad results were delivered around the world for years by the unregulated lab. The CBC's Jorge Barrera has the story.
Coral Mayer was 19 when an unplanned pregnancy changed her life with a complication that made everything harder.
Here's something that is humiliating, but I don't know the father of my child.
She turned to Toronto lab Vigard Acumetrics for a prenatal paternity test, but the company got the results wrong. After the baby was born, another lab named the right father.
I'm very bitter towards the whole situation, honestly. Like, there's so much I could have avoided if I hadn't have gone through that.
CBC News sent a producer inside the lab with a hidden camera to find out more.
Hi. At least with this, it sounds like the accuracy is there, because with the prenatal...
Prenatal, it was never that accurate, and it's expensive, a couple $1,000s for a test.
The owner, Harvey Tenenbaum, said he stopped selling prenatal paternity tests because they couldn't be trusted to identify the right dad.
We're literally at that test now. It's pretty good, but pretty good is not good enough.
He said sometimes the tests were proven wrong right at the birth.
Test a white guy and the baby came out black. White. I said, what the hell's going on here?
Experts say prenatal paternity tests are very accurate when done right, but a CBC News investigation has found multiple cases where Vigard named the wrong dad. These stories span a decade, from Canada to the UK, the United States to Australia. Private commercial DNA labs like Vigard don't need a license to operate, and Health Canada doesn't regulate them. This public policy expert says that's a problem.
We need to protect the public. You can't underestimate the impact that results like this have on individuals.
Dr. Harvey Tenenbaum, how are you? I'm Jorge Barrera.
Tenenbaum didn't respond to multiple interview requests. When CBC News approached him outside his lab, Tenenbaum said mistakes happen.
You know, you do thousands of tests.
Yeah, but...
And half the errors are the collection problem.
Because I know that you knew these tests were flawed, but you still kept selling
No,
them.
the tests were never flawed. The tests are accurate.
We had a hidden camera, and we spoke to you about this, and you said you knew that they were wrong.
Vygaard stopped selling its prenatal paternity tests sometime in 2021.
The main thing I want for Vygaard is for it to close down. I don't think anyone would even imagine that it would still be open.
It's still open and doing other types of DNA business. Jorge Barrera, CBC News, Ottawa.
5 to 10% of Canadians are affected by food allergies. In extreme cases, the reactions can be deadly. There are treatments, but they come with safety concerns. Now, Canadian researchers have developed the first set of international guidelines for a treatment known as oral immunotherapy. The CBC's Tashana Reid has more.
Morning, guys. Good to see you.
As a child, Andrew Kelder's peanut allergy caused a lot of fear.
We'd have to check the box on literally everything.
Until he started oral immunotherapy 4 years ago. It's a treatment for common food allergies, like peanuts or milk. Instead of avoiding the food, patients receive small increasing doses of the allergen over time to build up tolerance.
Can't even put it in words. It's just like the stress that's just off my shoulders, especially my parents.
I want to ask you about side effects.
But the treatment is not without risk.
There's the risk of reaction, and that can be very mild, where there's just hives or some lip swelling, but it can be quite severe as well, even severe anaphylaxis.
Dr. Douglas Mack and researchers at McMaster University developed the first international guidelines to prepare families. It covers key recommendations, from the benefits and risks of treatment to ensuring underlying health conditions like asthma are under control, and requirements for parental supervision, since much of the dosing is done at home.
They're functioning like a junior emergency doctor for their kids, and I think we've neglected that side for them. But sounds like you did
Andrew's mother is well aware of that concern.
There is quite a responsibility you have, because the allergen you have been protecting your child from, you are now giving to them at home.
While oral immunotherapy isn't a cure, it's an option that can improve patients' lives.
I think the biggest change has been this recognition that we can treat food allergy, that it's worth treating food allergy.
Researchers say as many as 1/3 of patients aren't adequately prepared before starting oral immunotherapy. And these new guidelines will help families choosing this treatment stay safe. Tashana Reid, CBC News, Toronto.
All right, we're still talking about the eclipse. Why not? Such a spectacular day it was yesterday, and more photos to come.
And amazing photos, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Many from here and some from folks that live in Nova Scotia that went to New Brunswick. And I thought we'd share one of those. So this one was taken actually in Fredericton. And this was taken by Peter Steeper. Ooh. And yeah, he said he automated a lot of the process for shooting the eclipse, and he was glad he did because that allowed him to kind of soak up the moment.
I like the little bit of cloud there.
That's so neat.
And he said thankfully that didn't impact the photo, and in fact it didn't impact the fact that what you're seeing there is what's called the diamond ring, and you can see how it kind of looks like a diamond ring.
Of course.
Yeah, and you can see the corona there around the totality as well. So just a fantastic picture, and he said it's his last eclipse was in elementary school 60 years ago. So he was glad that he went to Fredericton, and we're glad you shared the photo. Thanks so much to Peter. There is the forecast for tomorrow. Lots of sunshine on tap, increasing clouds across the province. Chance of a late day shower moving into the Digby, Yarmouth, and Shelburne County areas, but it's pretty isolated. Better chance closer to supper time and beyond.
All right, thanks so much for that, Ryan. Well, Mount Etna blew circles of gas into the sky over Sicily this past weekend.
Yes, and onlookers were transfixed by the sight. The so-called smoke rings filled the sky when a crater opened on the summit of the active volcano.
Events like this are rare, but Mount Etna emits more volcanic vortex rings than any other volcano on Earth.
Mount Etna is the highest peak in Italy's south of the Alps. It is by far the largest of the 3 active volcanoes in the country. Would love to see that.
Another spectacular sight. All right, that's it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.